Hi, Mike Shelton.
Hey, how
How
are
are
you
you
all?
doing?
Doing
I
doing
can
well.
vouch for you. I know that guy. We made you pull over, and you just
Well,
never know.
I know it, and I'm playing soccer dad today, so I'm in Tulsa. So and I just crazy morning, and I apologize. I'm late.
No, not a problem. It's all part of the plan. All right, we're getting ready to go live on Facebook. I'm going to start the meeting with an official welcome.
Okay.
So, there's a delay for Facebook. That's what I'm waiting on. It's preparing. I don't know why it's preparing for so long. All right, y'all. Welcome to the Canadian County Democrats' first virtual county convention. And may the Lord help us. I'll say that. We have a good crowd with us today, and we're glad that you carved out a little time on your Saturday. We're going to make this meeting as efficient as possible. Our business today is to elect county officers and delegates to the 3rd and 4th district conventions and ultimately the state convention. The theme for the meeting today is Stronger Together, maybe for the convention and beyond. When we're together, we're naturally stronger and we have a better chance to elect Democrats and strengthen the whole party. I want to take just a moment today to honor and acknowledge the Native people, including the Caddo, Wichita, and Cheyenne Arapaho, who lived in Canadian County before the land was opened to non-Indian settlers. So we thank you for the opportunity to be here. I also want to remind you about the Senate District 22 election. Our Democrat candidate is Molly Uten. The election is Tuesday the 6th. And I'll put information in the chat. I may repeat it because chat information doesn't show up if it's posted before you join. I'll make sure that information is available. And we have other business at hand today, but first, Chantel Corey has prepared a PowerPoint, and I'm going to do my best to share my screen. All right. Hopefully you guys can see it. Is everybody good? And I'm so excited. I learned how to turn off those slides on the side. So, all right. I think we did that. You guys are probably sick to death of hearing me talk about muting your screen. And I don't think I nagged you about starting your video in the lower left corner. If you'd like to start your video and let us see you on camera. I believe we have 24 participants. We have one person who's here in person with us today. So it's a good crowd. Glad to see you. A little more Zoom housekeeping. We've learned that reactions might appear different places on your screen. I think most people, when you put your cursor at the bottom down by that infernal chat box I keep talking about, a little bit to the right of the chat box, there's a place where you can hit reactions to do thumbs up, or you might laugh till you cry, or celebrate, or any of these little emojis, or you can raise your hand. We'll be voting by roll call, and we'll explain that later. There is a possibility of voting using these, but it's not always consistent what reactions people have loaded. So let's see. We have 18 delegates and we have to have a gender balance, which essentially means equal genders. So we're going to elect a chair, vice chair, a secretary, 2 affirmative action officers. We're allotted 9 District 4. Oh, it's the other way. 9 District 3 delegates and 4 District 4 delegates. So, let me back up. So that's the business today. So, and then we're going to review potential resolutions that might make changes to Constitution, bylaws, or just general purposes, and then get the heck out of Dodge and start eating Easter candy and cooking ham or whatever you guys want to do. So it's time for the credentials report. So Chantel Corey's our credentials chair. Chantel, do you want me to stop sharing so you can be on camera?
No, that's fine. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so you can go ahead to the next slide.
Okay.
Well, I was going to try and turn on my video, but that's not working. So anyway, hi everybody. So for credentials today, as of our precinct elections we had last month, we have 29 eligible voting delegates at today's meeting. All 29 of you are in District 3, so we do not have any voting members from District 4. Unfortunately, today we'll be working to remedy that and get some District 4 folks involved in the coming weeks. For a quorum of that 29, we require 12 present today. We are already at 15 or 16 present, so we're in good shape there.
Okay. Any questions about the credentials report? And Chantel, I think we've got 23. And let me ask you this: I think we've got Mike Shelton on the side of the road because he's traveling. After we've identified him, can he go on and travel? Or I don't know what discussion you all have had. You may want to have that in the chat. I just don't want to hold him up if he needs to be here.
Yeah, no, he's fine. I've got him listed as a candidate where we need him, and so I think we're good to go.
Okay, I'll let you guys chat. I just didn't want to hold Mike up if he's on the road. And Mike, if we hold you up, could you please hold a Molly Uten sign?
Absolutely. And let me just tell you this: as long as my cell phone lasts, I'll be here. So.
All right, we're going to press on then. And thank you everybody for being here. So the Rules Committee, Mr. Dennis Purefoy, current Vice Chair, Canadian County Democrats.
Okay, today we're going to be electing county officers and district delegates. We elect the elected district delegates will attend the district and state conventions. The chair and vice chair have to be different genders. And I lost the PowerPoint.
I'm back.
And we have to have a gender balance across all persons elected in this meeting. So that applies to everything, including the chair and vice chair. And a person does not have to be present to be elected. So you can nominate somebody not at this county convention to be an elected district delegate or a county officer. They don't have to be present to be elected, but one of you that are here in the meeting would need to nominate them. That's it.
That's awesome, Dennis. All right, review of the county rolls. These are not cinnamon rolls. And so I'm going to stop sharing because I have to go look at my notes. So bear with me. And there's a lot more to these jobs, but I've synthesized them into the most important things. So these are the county officers. The chair recruits candidates and volunteers, promotes the party, raises funds, presides at meetings, is the official spokesperson unless they delegate that role, nominates Democrats to serve on the county election board, and is the chief executive and inspirational leader. You might think I made that up because I'm the current chair, but actually that's in the Constitution. The vice chair acts as the county chair and presides at meetings when the chair is absent, recruits volunteers, assists in fundraising, and many other things. The secretary takes minutes, maintains records, assists the chair and vice chair, and forward lists of precinct and county officials to district and state secretaries. The person who's our secretary will be doing that after this meeting to let the district and the state party know who's elected today in what offices. Our affirmative action officers, male and female, encourage underrepresented groups to participate in the meetings, elections, and events, publicizes the meeting, distributes materials, and is our face and voice in the community as we try to make our party look like the community where we live. So we can't have too many Democrats because we're stronger together. So those are the roles that the elected people will be charged with performing. And we'll go back to, okay. You guys don't want to see that. All right, hopefully you're seeing the back to the presentation. Is that right? That's what I'm seeing. We're gonna hope so. So that was the county roles. Oh, that would have helped. So you have a list of them that we just discussed. And resolutions are next. So Mike Fuller.
No, Jody, go back up a slide. Sorry.
Okay.
We're ready for the voting.
All right. Thank you, Chantel.
We'll come back to Mike at the end. He'll be our
Okay.
dessert.
Mike, hold the phone. We'll get, not Mike Shelton, but Mike Fuller. Hold the phone. We'll come back. All right. All right. All right. Chantel Corey, is that working?
Yes, ma'am, that is working.
Okay, I'm on mute. You got the show.
Oh, Lord. Okay. So this is where things are going to get exciting. So I'm going to do one quick test, and I've waited until we're in the middle of the meeting to do this. Okay, so that definitely doesn't work the way I want it to, but we will proceed anyway. So our first election is for the county chair. As you all know, Miss Jody Harlan has been our fearless leader for the last few rounds, and she has graciously agreed to run again. Our first question will be, is there anybody here who would like to run or nominate another person to run for this position today? And you can put it in the chat, or you can raise your hand, or you can just unmute and call it out. I will give everybody a minute to decide if and how they need to do that. So any other nominees for chair going once, twice, 3 times? Okay. So it looks like this first election is going to be very nice and sweet. We can proceed without nominating speeches and candidate speeches, unless Jody, you want to say anything, and we will consider you our our prisoner for another couple years. All right, next slide. We have the vice chair. So here again, Dennis Purifoy has been serving as our vice chair. In this previous term, he has graciously agreed again to stick with us and do that work. Is there anybody else who would like to submit their name or submit a nomination for a candidate for vice chair? Going once, twice. No brave souls out there. Going 3 times. All right, congratulations, Dennis. So far, these are my favorite elections ever. Secretary, same story, different slide. Shirley Burton has been serving as our secretary and has agreed to remain a prisoner to that position for another couple years. Do we have any other nominations? Going once, twice. Sold to Shirley Burton. Congrats, Shirley. All right, affirmative action male. We have Brennan Bratcher, who is also the president of Young Democrats in Canadian County, vice president of Canadian County Young Democrats. So he is putting his hat in the ring for a county position in the grown-up pool now. So we're excited about that. Do we have any other candidates for our affirmative action male position? Going once, twice. Sold to Brennan. Congratulations. Next, we have affirmative action. Oh,
Oops.
whoops.
There we go.
There we go. Affirmative action female. And here again, Bobby Gordon has been serving in this position for the last term. And we are thrilled that she is putting her name in the ring to stick with us on that. So we will ask for any other nominations for affirmative action female. Going once, twice. Sold to Bobby Gordon. All right. The next slides are easy because, to my knowledge, unless somebody speaks up here for me today, I do not believe we have anybody present from district. Is it District 3 or 4? Did I get these mixed up, Jody? Okay, sorry. District 3, we will get to. The slide will say District 4 in a minute. On District 4, let's just talk about District 4 without the slides on the screen. Is there anybody present today from District 4 that would like to run in a delegate spot? You are welcome again to unmute yourself or put it in the chat, and we will get you on there to hold elections. District 4, ignore the slide. This is
a typo. It
yeah,
means
this is for
District 4.
folks down. It's usually folks who live down properly in Mustang area of Canadian County or in District 4, and we didn't have any present at the precinct meetings. So last call for District 4 delegates, male. Okay, go on. How about District 4 delegates, female? Again, ignore the screen. Do we have any women here from District 4 that would like to run to be delegates? Going once, twice. Wow, this room has not been this quiet all day. All right, you can proceed. So again, typo, my fault entirely. We do have people present and interested in the District 3 male delegates. Now, with the election of Jody, Dennis, and Shirley at the top of the county ticket, that's 2 women and 1 man. So in our District 3, where we have 9 delegates, we have to achieve a gender balance, which means we need 5 men and 4 women. So I know we've got some guys out there who are in District 4. We've got 3 more slots available besides Mark Hammonds and Mike Shelton, who have asked to run. Is there anybody we can add to this? And I'm going to
I guess you can add me. This is Fred Colbert.
Okay, Fred.
Jody, what is Tim O'Connor's status on serving as delegate? I know he's not running for re-election as state party secretary, but hello?
Oh, Jody, you're on mute.
About that. Tim O'Connor could not attend today. He had a conflict at the last minute. But that's a good question, Mark. Were you thinking of nominating Tim O'Connor as a delegate? Because he's not state secretary and holds an automatic position for previous conventions, but I'm certain he'd like to be nominated.
Yeah, I would nominate Tim. Wanted to make sure he was willing to take that position.
I feel sure that he would. And
Okay, I have added him behind the scenes. Is there anybody else? We definitely have one more slot at this point. So since we're sitting at 4, and if nobody else jumps in, you guys will automatically be elected. Do we have one more?
I'm willing if you need one.
Brett?
Yeah.
Is that Brett Jones?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yay.
Yay.
That's good. And Malik, you're there. I don't want to put anyone on the spot, but this is an awkward process where normally we'd be face to face and you'd be able to better tell who's interested and have a chance to chat before the meeting. The reason that we have slates at all at this point, rather than taking nominations from the floor, is to try to make this process smoother, not to control who's been nominated. So, I hate to call names out, but everyone here is a good Democrat and works for the party. And if we're not calling out your name, it's just because we don't want to put you on the spot.
And just a reminder to everybody before we wrap this up, because we're now in the more complex things. So the delegates elected in this process today will be invited to attend and vote at both the district convention on, I believe, May 1st, where you'll be electing the district chair, vice chair, secretary, and you will also be invited to attend the state convention, which I believe it's June 11th and 12th. I think if that's the Friday and Saturday.
Just 12th.
Okay.
According to what they published.
Okay. So
and it'll be Zoom. So
you'll also be you'll also be attending as a voting delegate at the state convention to elect the state officers. So that's just a reminder in case you're still on the fence. I'm going to do a last call round here for the District 3 male delegates, going once, twice. I know. 3 times. Okay, Jody, can I ask you briefly to close this presentation and reopen it? I've updated the slide. Okay. And that way everybody can see these names as they're updated. Believe it or not.
Let's see. Okay, let me try again.
This wouldn't have an apostrophe S, it would just have an apostrophe.
Here it has apostrophe S. To type it the way it is in here.
Okay.
Did it disappear on you, Jody?
It did for a minute.
Okay, sorry about that. So see, the district is fixed. So we are all looking at the right stuff for a minute here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 names here on the slide as candidates. We have 5 positions. If there's no objection, we're going to skip candidate speeches unless somebody just is dying to say something to the group. And we will elect this slate of candidates. And I'm going to go by silence for no objections. So speak now or forever hold your peace, and we will move on to the female candidates. Going once, twice. Congratulations, everyone. we will move on to the women for District 3. And here we are beginning with five of you who shared your candidacy on check-in. Thank you all very much. So we will call, so the list we already have is Brandi Becerra, Sarah Carnes, myself, Chantel Corey, Cherry Rain, and Lori Hammonds. Do we have any other women who would like to represent District 3 at the district and state elections? And just so everybody is aware, there are only 4 slots available to the women. It's so sad. But we are so lucky to have a group of women here in Canadian County who are passionate about representing Democrats and electing Democrats. So this is awesome. So
if I may, and the person who is not elected will automatically be an alternate. And
yes,
so that person would be the first one called on if we have an opening due to scheduling conflict or some other reason.
right. So last call going once for candidates, twice, 3 times. Okay, so we're finally at an exciting electoral opportunity here in our meeting today. I am personally thrilled that so far it's been so easy. So hopefully we will get through this process without too much trouble. So because we're on a Zoom meeting, and that's why we did check-ins and had people submit that they wanted to run. The whole nomination process is just, we've already got that taken care of unless anybody has objections to how we're doing that. So we're going to proceed with 1-minute speeches. I'm assuming we're going to just ask each of you to tell us a little bit about yourself, why, you can answer questions, why you're a Democrat, why you'd like to participate in this process, whatever. 60 seconds goes fast. We do have a timer. So Ms. Shirley Burton will be calling you up in the meeting if you go over. Jody, do you have any other advice for people before they give their 1-minute speech?
No.
All right. So we will
first nominations, right? Or
well,
are we going straight to candidates?
We're going straight to candidate speeches. Again, I don't think we need necessarily to do nominations since we've already got them on the list, unless that presents a problem for someone. So let's start with Brandi Becerra. Say hello and let people know why you want to represent this district.
Hello, I'm Brandi Becerra. If you're not familiar with me, I think I've been a very outspoken advocate for
She froze up.
Hold on, we're trying to get the technical difficulties worked out.
I think I have an issue with connection.
Okay, I think you're back.
I'm back?
Yep.
Okay. I said, all right, I'm going to start over. I don't know where I left off at. I just said, I think for most of you,
We're going to invite Brandi to come over to my computer and talk to y'all. If I can figure out how to turn on my camera, start video. There we go. Here she is.
Okay. We'll start this again. Replay number 3, take 4. Okay. My name is Brandi Becerra, and like I said, for many of you that do know me or may not know, I've been a very outspoken advocate for many of the people who feel that their voice isn't particularly heard in this area. And I think that's very important for Canadian County. I think when we have more people standing up, being a united voice against the opposition and those people who kind of stand in a united voice of people in these type of positions that can relate to all individuals and represent more people and have more diversity. And I think if we continue with the status quo, we're not really going to get anywhere. We need more outspoken people in these positions, and in order to make change happen, we need people that are willing to speak out at all costs. And I think I'm one of those individuals who will speak out at all costs. Anyway, I think I've spent enough time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brandi. All right. Let me pull up my list here and see if I can figure out who's next. So next we have Miss Sarah Carnes. No, you can do your own. Hopefully yours will work. So here's Sarah.
Hello, my name is Sarah Carnes, and I have been a lifelong Democrat in Oklahoma. I ran in 2018. I've been an advocate for public education, hitting the Capitol forever. And then 2018.
So Sarah's going to continue over here.
So what is that? The hot seat?
Walking the Capitol in 2018, was there in 2015. I've worked on several campaigns. Started with my mom's Senate race in the early 80s as a young girl, and then later getting involved and involving our children with Mickey Dollins's race, walking for him, donating to other campaigns, and then during the teacher walkout, it just came to me that I needed to put my foot in the race and run against some of the Republicans after Leslie left. So I'm anxious to still volunteer my time. I've been working on Molly's campaign, knocking doors, and
our timekeeper just came and waved her hands. All right. Am I next on the list, Jody?
Yes.
All right. Hi, I'm Chantel Corey. I would like to represent the 3rd District here this year for a couple of reasons. First of all, I've only been really active, I would say, in the Democratic Party for the last 5 years or so. I started I think I kind of got involved in 2015. I also was a candidate for state rep in 2018. It was a phenomenal experience. I'm grateful I didn't win personally. I'm sad I didn't win for who did. But I discovered through that process, I'm definitely I think I would be a great campaign manager, not so much candidate in the future. I'm very process driven, very, that's kind of the stuff I love. So participating in things like district and the state convention, it's just something that personally I enjoy getting to go through this process. It's kind of painful in one sense, but understanding how the political party works behind the scenes, I think, is very interesting. And I love getting to participate in these things. So I hope you will consider me. Thank you. So who do we have next? Is it Cherry Rain, I believe?
Lori.
No, Cherry is next on the list. Lori, you're gonna bring us home. So it's
okay. Hi.
Hi.
I'm Cherry Rain. I have been passionate all my life about justice, social justice, environmental justice, criminal justice, and loving the democratic process. And that's why I teach it for a living, try to inspire people to get involved. And as much as I would like to be a delegate, because my #1 goal is to help people get involved, I don't mind being the alternates because I'm very happy there are too many of us wanting to step up. However, I would not hesitate to jump in there and put in my vote and speak up for all of us Democrats and the ones that don't use their voice or have a platform.
Awesome. Thank you, Cherry. All right, Lori, you're up.
I'm Laurie Hammonds. I have been a lifelong Democrat in Oklahoma. My whole family are Democrats. I married a very strong Democrat, Mark Hammonds. I helped him run for state chair. We've driven around and knocked on doors. I serve on the scholarship committee with Dennis and Shirley. We have contributed. I've done postcards for Molly Uten. Really enjoy going to the meetings and seeing everybody and being active and helping Democrats win elections and move forward. I think that's it for me.
Excellent. Thank you all. So our next step is going to be voting, and we finally have gotten to the exciting portion of the meeting here. And I'm going to actually turn off my video because I'm looking at multiple screens and you guys are going to think I'm psychotic. So here we go. So the way this is going to happen, Jody, if you can pull up the slide that has all the women's names for this category on it. One more.
I don't know how we're going to do this, but let's vote.
Right. So here's what's going to happen. At the precinct elections in March, we elected and have 29 voting people eligible. Not everyone was able to make it today, but I'm going to call all the names since we're only going through this process once. I'm going to call all the names just to make sure we didn't miss anybody that is in attendance on our check-in list. And the names of the people running are on the screen. So what I'd like you to do when I call your name is to simply tell me who you'd like to cast a vote for. Brandi, Sarah, Chantel, Cherry, and Lori are the candidates.
And
okay.
Chantel, I was not able to find out how to unmute everybody at one time.
Okay, so my
Unmute
team
yourself.
here, are we able, I think, yeah, okay. So thankfully we're only going through this once, hopefully. So when I call your name, if you'd like to go ahead and unmute now or work on unmuting so that when I get to you, we don't have that delay, that'd be great. So here we go. Malik Rockdy. I don't believe is here. Fred Kobrick.
Yes, I'm here.
And who would you like to vote for?
And we're just voting one person, is that correct?
We are voting one person. The top 4 vote getters will be the elected delegates with the 5th one as an alternate.
Okay, I'll cast my vote for Lori.
Okay, thank you. Jennifer Slate, did she make it today?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome.
I'll vote for you.
Okay, thank you. Daniel Weber.
I am proxy to Daniel Weber, and I'm gonna vote for Sarah Carnes.
Thank you. Brennan Bratcher.
Brandi Becerra.
Spreading the love there. Brent Wilcox. No. Dennis Purifoy, sorry.
That's okay. I vote for Sarah.
Thank you. Cassie Purifoy.
Say Sarah?
Yes. Cassie's not here.
Okay. Peggy Archibald. Brandi Becerra.
Sarah Carnes.
Michael Garrettson.
Chantel Corey.
Mark Hammonds.
Wait, is this session?
Did we lose Mark Hammonds?
No, I'm here. Laurie.
I hope he knows where he wants to sleep.
I was gonna say, I was already penciling in the name. Lori Hammonds. Lori Hammonds.
Oh, myself.
Okay. Nina Miley.
Nina, did somebody impress you from the speeches that you like? No, you gotta pick one. I feel the same way as Nina. She says, can I just vote for all of them?
We have a diplomat.
That impressed you more than the others. Chantel. Okay, Nina's vote is for Chantel.
All right, Shirley Burton.
I'll vote for Lori Hammonds.
Okay, Tim O'Connor could not make it today. I'm going to be really bold and vote for myself, Chantel Corey. Mark Nelson.
Chantel Corey.
Brett Jones.
I'll vote for Brandi Becerra.
Thank you. Dorinda.
Sarah Carnes.
Sarah Carnes.
Brandi Becerra.
What?
Bobby Gordon.
Sarah Carnes.
Cherry Rain.
I'm voting for Sarah.
Mike Shelton.
Sarah Carnes.
Doing a good job working the phone there. Jody Gross.
Lori Hammonds.
Gretchen Bullock. You're just voting in her place.
Who would I vote for? I don't know. What does it say?
You vote for, you get to pick.
Sarah Carnes.
Okay. Mike Fuller.
Brandi Becerra.
Randy. Cheryl Fuller.
Cheryl's not here.
Okay. And finally, Ashley Dixon.
Oh, wait. Chantel. After the voting.
It's Brandi Becerra, please.
You skipped him.
I'm sorry, I've got multiple voices.
Malik is here.
Okay, I'll go back. Ashley Dixon.
Brandi Becerra.
Okay. And I was told that Malik did join the meeting. Malik Rocky, who would you like to vote for?
Brandi Becerra.
Thank you all so much.
And
All right, so
Chantel, if I can make a statement, is there anyone here that's a voting delegate that we did not call? That would mean you're elected as a precinct officer and got a delegate badge in the mail from me.
I didn't get a badge.
who was that?
I didn't get a badge either.
And Ashley Dixon is an exception because we had to correct our record.
That's what she just said.
Is there anyone else present who was elected on March 11th who I did not call? All right. So the next thing I'm going to ask
one
is
more thing. Please mute yourselves now.
Yeah.
Because and if Chantel needs us to vote, we all can. And I also want to mention at an in-person traditional meeting, it's also a public vote. It's, you know, a little different because we probably raise our hands, but we can't have secret votes in the Democratic Party. So this is a very close facsimile of what we would have done if we all went to the, to a location in person. So just wanted to share that.
Okay. Let me get this. So I'm going to give you some vote counts here.
I have counts.
Do you?
This is Shirley. And did Jody vote?
Oh, Jody, did you?
I don't have a vote. I'm technically as the chair.
Oh yeah, she was not. Yeah.
And I'm not
Okay.
a precinct officer. Precinct 208 had a lot of talent and other people were elected. So yeah, I just would vote to break a different kind of tie, like on, on a motion or something like that.
Okay. Do you want me to give the count?
Can I give you totals and just have you confirm for me?
Okay.
Because I want to make sure we have kind of two of us backing each other up here. So for Brandi, I have 6 votes.
I have 7.
Okay, this is why we're. For Sarah, I have 7.
I have 8.
This is why we have a problem. Let's see. Let me go to Lori. For Lori, I have 5.
Yes.
We will count up the votes. So you had 8 for Sarah.
Yes.
And 7 for Brandi.
Yes.
Okay. Oh my goodness, isn't that fun? For Chantel, 6.
Yes.
Okay, so let me add these up real quick. Huh? I know that. Oh, I got that. Let me verify how many we have in attendance on my list to make sure. Jody, you're on mute.
Sometimes that's the very best thing.
So here's what I'll ask you to do, because I think we're going to be okay. I just want to verify the people present, the number of votes and things like that. Why don't you move on and proceed with the resolutions discussion?
Okay.
Back on the original PowerPoint, and Mike can jump in on that. And Shirley and I will put our heads together and make sure we've got everything counted right.
All right. Go back to the meeting. All right. Mike Fuller, do you have a resolution for us?
Yes, I do. Basically, can you hear me? Am I okay? Okay.
Yes, we
I can't hear you. Okay. We just had one resolution proposal submitted. It came from the chair of the Oklahoma County Democratic Party, Robbie White, I believe is her name. Basically, what it involves is a change to our bylaws regarding organizational meetings. She expressed some concern and it had discussion with other folks about what they think is a way to improve this, in that there's a conflict with the get out the vote. Now, she has stated here that there's been discussion that the April 3rd is the get out the vote weekend for school board elections and the Easter weekend, and of course Senate District 22 special election, which we're having. These two things take Oklahoma Democrats out of the get out the vote for this important cycle. And since the municipal elections will always be held in odd numbered years at this time, moving precinct meetings back a bit would help. And then she proposes basically a change to our bylaws regarding organizational meetings. And here's what it amounts to. in our currently, as it's written right now in our bylaws, it basically says that precinct committees, county, congressional districts, and state conventions shall meet in odd number years and elect officers and such other officials as may be required to serve until next organizational meetings. That's what it says now. She wants to add a sentence to that that says organizational meetings shall not be planned for the weekend preceding an election. That's one change to the bylaw, number one. Under that in our bylaws, there's a precinct, it addresses precinct committees, and currently it says precinct committees shall meet on the third Thursday in February. And she suggests that we might want to change that to the second Thursday in March. No, it currently, sorry, I got that all screwed up. It currently says the third Thursday in February, and we want to change. What do we want to do? Hell, I don't know. I'm confused now. Precinct committees, as is currently written, shall meet on the second Thursday in March. Okay. And she suggests we should change that to the third Thursday in February. Now, I think I got that straight. I want to change that from the second Thursday in March to the third Thursday in February. Those would be two changes to the bylaws regarding organizational meetings. I've got no other resolutions, proposals, submissions from anyone else. And so that is basically the resolution on which we would want to discuss and vote. Anybody, about changing the dates on our precinct meetings so they don't conflict with get out the vote efforts by our party. That's about it, Jody.
And, I might add to that, we can't control Easter, even though it's inconvenient to have both the county convention and Easter right before the April 6th election. Easter's a wild card, but the state law sets elections for the second Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. And so, in other years, we might find elections. The special elections been synchronized with school board and other elections to save money in, counties in the state. So it's likely to happen again. I will say this, the Constitution allows two things. Smaller counties can hold their precinct meetings and county conventions on the same date. It depends on the number of delegates they have. And the other thing is counties have the discretion to change the date 7 days on either side of the projected date. So, we were told precinct elections will be March 11th, county elections will be April 3rd. For various reasons, including booking a venue, local conflicts, things like that. We could have selected a Saturday 7 days before today or 7 days after. That already exists in the current Constitution and bylaws. This change, which was proposed by Oklahoma County, and we accepted and submitted. I submitted to Mike here. It didn't come from another, it was generated by another county, but submitted by Canadian County. The proposal is to have a week that's not likely to coincide with an election that could be scheduled on the second Tuesday. We would still have we could schedule it a week before or a week after. So I'm not really speaking for or against it, just kind of putting it in perspective to what already exists as I understand it.
It sounds like we have some flexibility on that as it currently exists, and I don't know for sure. And I've told this to others. I'm not really clear on the pros and cons of this change anyway, but some of you folks probably would be more in tune with that than me. But I'm like you. I don't really for or against it. I don't care.
Mike, do you want to hear 1 minute discussion from different people who could state up front if they were for or against it?
I would like to hear from anyone who believes this is a necessary change that would improve our bylaws, our Constitution, and help the Democrats. If somebody thinks this is really something that we ought to consider doing, I'd like to hear it. And because it could be true. I mean, I don't know. So if anybody out there believes this is something that would really improve our cause here, I'd like to hear it. Yes.
Jody, this is Chantel. I do have a question about that 7-day window that currently exists. Is that something you can simply, as the county chair, decide to do, or do you have to submit a request up to the state for approval to move the date?
The county officers can decide and inform the party.
Okay.
It's a privilege and as I understand it. Now we have Mark on the call, who's a former state chair, a retired state chair, and Mike Shelton, he's very knowledgeable. So I've got the Constitution here, and that's my understanding.
Right. So just my 2 cents for anybody who cares. I do think this is a good idea. The state of Oklahoma has election dates 11 out of 12 months almost every year. And I think it would just be more prudent if our ultimate goal is to elect Democrats to not have this kind of meeting sitting right before the second Tuesday. Let's just change it and get out of the way of the elections.
Sounds good to me. Anybody opposed?
And Nina Miley has a comment. Nina, you want to come and say what you think? Just lean over my shoulder and just.
I'm just here. Well, it seems to me that's not a really necessary change, that we have enough flexibility to do what we need to do to make it more convenient, or if you don't think it should be before the elections. I just felt it wasn't necessary.
Thank you, Nina. Well spoken on both sides. Sorry, y'all. Any other comments before or for or against the resolution? Because I suspect Chantel's going to make us vote here in a minute. Just guessing. Anybody else got anything to say about it?
So we'll do the same roll call, Jody.
Do you want me to go back to a previous slide, or just going to do it orally? Yeah,
we'll just do it. We'll just do it orally. If you want to put the proposed solution or the second one.
Yeah, there we go.
The next one, the proposal up on the screen. Yeah, I will go through and call the roll here once again. Unmute yourself. Be ready. Oh my goodness, that was fun. Okay, so let me get another column here.
We can't all be muted at the same time.
Okay, sorry about that. I gotta get.
And I think I thought I saw Mike Garrettson had his hand up. Do you have a question, Mike?
I apologize. No.
Oh, okay. And so are we?
All right.
We should unmute ourselves right before we vote.
The best you can. The best you can. So I will be calling the same. Wow, there's a what? Sorry, I've got some echo in my head that so I will be calling your name if you will just vote yes for the resolution or no against the resolution. Here we go. Malik Rockdy. No. Fred Kobrick.
Yes.
Jenny Slate.
Yes.
Daniel Weber.
Yes.
Brennan Bratcher.
Yes.
Brent Wilcox. He's not present. Dennis Purifoy.
Yes.
And Cassie is not here. Peggy Archibald.
Yes.
Brandi Becerra. Mike Garrettson.
Yes.
Mark Hammonds.
Yes.
Lori Hammonds.
Yes.
Here we go. Nina Miley.
Nina is a no.
I got her. Shirley Burton.
No.
Chantel Corey. Yes. Mark Nelson.
Yes.
Brett Jones.
Yes.
Dorinda Tyson Jones.
Yes.
Sarah Carnes.
Yes.
Bobby Gordon.
Yes.
Cherry Rain.
Yes.
Whoops. Mike Shelton. We may have lost Mike to the soccer game. Jody Gross.
Yes.
Gretchen Bullock.
Yes.
Mike Fuller.
No.
Cheryl Fuller did not join us. Ashley Dixon.
Yes.
All right. So I can come back and give you the exact count, but it looks like the yeses have it.
Wasn't even close.
Right. So Mike will, I suppose now that will be submitted up to the state for
District, I guess.
or
first,
district
right?
to review. Okay. For review as it proceeds up for a final vote. So thank you
Right,
all
yep.
for that.
All right.
The count.
Yeah, if you would like to close and reopen the voting slides and go to that, the female District 3, all the vote counts are there that we can view. Oh, I will work on that while you do the other.
Jody? Jody?
Is somebody there? Somebody need me?
Yeah, Jody, it's Mark Hammonds. We did not elect delegates for the 4th district, but of course we did in the prior election. Do we know whether or not those people would be willing to serve again? I think you're muted, Jody.
Jody, you're muted.
The people that are here can hear me. They're like, oh no, Mark, that's a good question. I've reached out to delegates in the 4th districts that have served in the past and those that are in our member database to cover those slots. So, and I'm expecting to hear back with them from them. So hopefully we can cover those slots and be fully represented with our full 18 delegates.
Good. Okay.
And it's a good time to put in a second pitch. If something happens where you find out you can't come, there's almost always someone interested in going, especially when we're really not going, except to wherever we get on the computer. So if for some reason you find out you have a conflict, let me know and we'll work out a opportunity for you to give your vote, and you can give your proxy or your vote to a person of your choice. of the same gender from the same district, from District 3 for all of us here today. And you can give them instruction on how to vote. And they have to follow those instructions, or you can give them the proxy and trust your delegate to make the best decision at the meeting. So there's some options, and we can discuss that. Hopefully it won't happen. I hope everybody can come. And on the screen, you can see the count that Shirley and Chantel verified.
Yes, so we have 22 voting members present and 2 proxy voters for a total of 24 today. And Brandi received 6 votes, Sarah 7, myself, Chantel 6, and Lori Hammonds 5, and Cherry will be our first alternate. And then for the resolution vote, I have the counts on that. We lost 1 person between the previous votes. So we had 23 voting, 20 yeses and 3 nos.
So we're back to the other presentation. So 20 yeses and 3 nos.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll forward that to the district convention for consideration there and find out what happens. So, all right. Chantel, do you have any other announcements to make?
I have talked all I need to talk.
Okay, well, thank you. It's a high stress job because math is involved. So I am unqualified in that situation. So those of you that were elected today, congratulations. We're proud to have you serving the Democrats in Canadian County. Our goal, of course, is to find more Democrats to work with us because we're stronger together, and to elect Democrats and strengthen the party. Your next official mission will be the district convention on May the 1st, and the state convention, to the best of my knowledge, it's just June the 12th, and we'll be getting more information about that. My next assignment is to find Congressional District 4 delegates to serve for us and have a full delegation. That's always something we look forward to. And before we adjourn, I'm gonna back out, let's see, of the presentation. But actually, Chantel,
are you not doing April?
We're not planning an April meeting because of this meeting.
I thought I'd put it in there and encourage you just in case.
But it does give us the option to say that we normally meet on Zoom on the 2nd Monday of each month at 7. So that would normally be our time. And then May 1st will be the district convention. So put Monday at 7 on your calendar. The March meeting was our precinct meetings. The April meeting is this county meeting, and I'm chasing a really exciting speaker for the May meeting, and that will be May the 10th. Will be our next meeting. And I wanted to say, I'm not sure if anyone else was on Abby Broyles' Grit for America meeting that was held at the end of last week, maybe Thursday. That was quite interesting. Grit for America is a nonpartisan organization focused on getting 46,000 new voters in Oklahoma. Oklahoma has the worst voter participation turnout rate in the country. And you know, Governor Stitt wants to be number 1. So we're number 1 in a bad thing. And I believe that more voters turning out, especially younger voters, more diverse voters, will be good for Democrats. That Abby's organization is a 501c3, they're nonpartisan. However, I feel sure anyone who wants to encourage voting and make it easier and register voters is going to trend Democrat, honestly. So that's something to keep an eye on. You know, I'm certainly pro-Democrat, but voter registration in itself is a nonpartisan process. And the best thing for voter registration, from my perspective, is a good ballot measure. When the county, all of us worked on expanding Medicaid to 200,000 new people who will start getting medical care that have not had it in the summer, says to be in June of 2021. That's a result of a ballot measure. And I registered 578 people to vote just by saying something that was relevant to them. Do you know anybody who needs health care? I need health care. You've got to be registered to vote to sign my petition. I'll do it. I would take their voter registration and turn it in for them to be sure they were registered to vote before I turned the petition in, because you must be a registered voter to sign the petition. So that gave us an opportunity to get a lot more people through that ballot measure, not just us, not just me, but throughout the state. People had a reason to vote. It was relevant to them, where sometimes they look at a ballot and they don't know the names on the ballot. I have mentioned several times voting for Molly Ooten on April 6th. I would be remiss if I didn't strongly recommend voting for Suzanne Cannon, Cannon. She is a Democrat. She's an incumbent on the Yukon School Board and has fought hard for Yukon students, for what's best for them, and been a good listener to the parents and the staff. And so in the chat, hopefully you're able to scroll back up and see the Oklahoma voter portal .okelections.us link. That's where you go to find out what elections are coming up for you and whether or not you're in Senate District 22. So it's always a good place to look. I also posted my new email address. I had problems and had to replace my email account, and my new address is jodyharlan@gmail.com. Now, Shirley Burton, do you want to talk about the scholarship committee? And I'll put the link in the chat about with the Google form that applicants can fill out. But please also tell how they can register by mail.
Okay. The speaker seems to act up whenever I talk. But yes, we have I think Dennis Purifoy and Lori Hammonds for serving on the committee with me. And I've heard from one person and sent her an application. And I haven't heard anything more from any other applicants, but it's a $500 college scholarship, must be a state-funded school, and they must be registered to vote in Canadian County. And with the scholarship application is due the first Friday in May, which I believe is May 7th.
Okay, everybody, if you're not muted, please go
It
ahead.
says that pickup, they don't close till 5. So
Mike,
let us know if we can make it down to pick it up.
Oh my gosh. It seemed like today everybody in my neighborhood is mowing the lawn too. So, all right.
Jody, before we move on too far,
yes.
Just a question about the scholarship. I know we're just got that form put together very recently. Will that be something you're posting on the Canadian Co-Dems website here shortly, just for everybody who wants the scholarship information? That'll all be up on the website in the next few days.
Yes, it will be soon. And if anyone, an applicant, a family member, a neighbor, a young Democrat, an old Democrat, there's no age limitation. It'll also be available through Shirley or through myself in a hard copy format if someone would prefer filling it out that way. But you all met the Google Forms today. That was what Chantel designed and we used to register. So the scholarship application is, Chantel made that available in that form with a way to attach references, letters, and other a short essay that are part of the application. So we're online now. We're Googleized as well as hard copy, so that the scholarship committee will have a chance to look at those applicants. And like so many scholarships, a lot of times we're nail biting down to the wire because we don't have an applicant. And that's a $500 check that we send to the bursar that the scholarship winner can use for any expenses they have. And Shirley may have mentioned this, but with the ECHO, the scholarship is named for Shirley's husband, Bob Burton, who was a good union man and a great advocate for young Democrats, getting young people involved. So I guess we've had the scholarship 16 years, Shirley, is that right? She may be muted, but that's close to right.
I think that's close.
A number of years, and we've met a lot of good Democrats along the way. So, and there's no age limit. You just have to. I get the number one question I get is, do you have to be a Democrat? And I go, yes, you do. Yes. So, any rate, and registered in Canadian County, all the things that Shirley said. So we put the link up, and we'll also be sending information through social media. And we have a new newsletter called MailChimp. It's a email organization program I started to use because I got blacklisted by Cox. And I emailed too many people at one time, according to them, not according to me. So this will look a lot like a newsletter. It'll have a red, white, and blue logo that we use for Canadian County at the top. And rather than getting multiple emails from me, there will be important things going on in this newsletter format. And whenever I say this, you're lucky if you get any, but I know Brett Jones is the newsletter editor, and Dorinda is also, and we have other good writers. So if you have something you want to submit, feel free to send that to me at jodyharlan@gmail.com. I'd love to have reporters, people that are helping me out. But that's where we'll have information about the scholarship, both the link and also how to get a hard copy. And so do we have any other announcements? Any other announcements?
Not from this room.
Okay. Well, happy Easter, everyone. Don't forget to vote if you can on April the 6th for Molly Uten and Suzanne Cannon. And one last plug, one of our fundraising projects is we collect feminine hygiene supplies for local shelters in Canadian County. And there's one shelter in Oklahoma City that one of our members supports that doesn't have a lot of resources. So ever so often we divide those products. Many of you know at my house at 426 Poplar Avenue, there's a red wagon that seems to be a staging area for everything from candidate information to drop-offs for feminine hygiene supplies. So I hope we can do that pretty soon. And it's something that no other group is doing. We had a speaker talk to us in, I think, 2019 that inspired us to address this unmet need. So if you feel like you'd like to get involved, let me know. I can pick up, or you can drop off at the Red Wagon at 426 Poplar in Yukon. So thank you for being here. It looks like we're getting out in an hour and a half. And
Jody, can
I'm
I
proud
do
of that?
Jody, can I do one final
Yes.
announcement?
Yes.
because we can't leave a political meeting without this kind of announcement. So it's been a rough year for everybody. We have not had our monthly meetings in person in a while. So we have not passed the hat around to collect for all of the work that, you know, postage and all the work behind the scenes that goes on with Canadian County Democrats, as well as helping to fund this scholarship. You know, I'm pretty sure there's a pot of money to begin with, but we continually support that and work to support that. And on good years, sometimes we can give out more than one scholarship. So Jody, if you'd like to type your, there it is, your address into the chat. Anybody who would like to send a donation, you can mail it to the address in the chat, Canadian County Democrats, 426 Poplar Avenue, Yukon, Oklahoma, 73099. If you would like to make a donation another way, reach out to us. We can find a way. I don't know, Jody, if you have a PayPal account or a Cash App or anything else for online donations. If not, we're going to get that fixed. But as I said, we can't have a political meeting without passing the hat. So even in the virtual world, we really appreciate any support all of you can give to help us keep doing the work. So that's my last announcement.
Okay, let's see. I just typed the PayPal link into the chat. It's donate@canadiancodems.org. And on that note, I'd like to share, you know, most of you know that Senator Michael Brooks is a Democrat elected in Canadian County. In his last election, he had no Republican opponent. So if you ever get a chance to mention that, help us spread the word. Democrats can get elected in Canadian County. And I talked with Michael this week. He made a $250 donation to Canadian County for matching purposes, which helps cover our donations to candidates like Molly and things like mailing, postage. As Chantel said, there's nothing much I have to add to that, but it's always encouraging to be able to take a deposit to the bank so that we can spread the love. So happy Canadian County Democrats County Convention. Thank you all for giving us a piece of your Easter weekend. And I'm hopeful that we can meet again in person soon. And there's, you know, at our next meeting, at our May meeting, come to that meeting thinking in your new role or in your current role, what you want to do to strengthen the party. The window is open with a lot of Republicans who are not drive for 45ers, who are horrified by the insurrection in Washington, D.C. And the last thing I'll say, in one of the first people that contacted me on our private Facebook page, Canadian County Democrats, was Malik Rajal. And I said, well, Malik, it looks like you're a Republican. And he said, well, I've changed, and sent me a copy of his new voter card. I think that brought us luck, because in January, within 12 days, I had 10 women contact me and do the same thing. And where I said, well, thank you for your interest, but this page is for pretty intense strategic campaign discussions. And I noticed you're a Republican. And they've said, I've switched. I don't like what's going on in my party, and have continued from there. So while we're in separate parties, we have an opportunity to be stronger together when it comes to voting for Democrats, by reaching out to Republicans and certainly independents who are persuadable. And soon our election will be over, but the persuasion never stops, because we have to bring people over to our side in Canadian County when we vote. And I see no reason why they wouldn't want to do that. So have a great day. Last call for any announcements, comments. And are you waving bye, Brandi, or do you have something? All right, they went out of here. We'll see you all soon. And this is the end of the meeting.